Good morning, everyone. This is Sterling Vincent, and here today for another episode of the In Your Face Readers Club, coming to you from beautiful San Diego. It is an early morning, but I just couldn't resist. We're going to be reading the manuscript for New York Nights. I don't know if you can see that because the sun is not quite up, but it's also not quite down. New York Nights. Let us start our little endeavor. The first of quite a few of the West Coast edition of the In Your Face Readers Club, New York Nights. In the heart of Manhattan, where steel towers touch the clouds like ancient keeps, a new kind of chivalry lives. Sir Pestry the Gallant, a modern knight in reinforced chrome-plated leathers, prepared for his morning patrol. He lived by a code of honor as old as the stones of the city. He reached for his helmet, a pitch-black Lancelot-style masterpiece with a sleek, dark visor. Painted across the jaw was a striking white half-skull design, a grim warning to any who dared disrupt the peace of his concrete kingdom. I absolutely love this helmet. One of the downfalls of pre-editing is that the helmet itself here, which we see, is not going to come out the way we want it to. However, we will be fixing that in post-production. Beside him stood Perrywise the Bold, his legendary steel horse. Perrywise was a marvel of engineering. A heavy-duty motorcycle with a shimmering blue frame and a front fairing sculpted into the likeness of a charging stallion. To the untrained eye, he was a machine. To Sir Pestry, he was a loyal companion who understood every lean and every turn, not to be confused with lean cuts of beef or turkey bacon. This is the lean of the bicycle, where one has to almost put his knee to the ground in order to not tip over completely and to not create a fine cheese grating of the knee. We'll get into that later. Sir Pestry swung his leg over the saddle, the engine erupting with a guttural roar that echoed like a war cry. His helmeted head tilted forward, the white skull jaw on his helm gleaming as he prepared to patrol the asphalt veins of the city. So here we have several problems as we look at our editing in visual. As we can see, our fine Sir Pestry here, he has no face shield, and his bike somehow has a horn and a horn meant for a bicycle. That is on, of course, his stallion, as we know, legendary Perrywise the Bold. We're just going to put some nice circled edits here, and we shall be doing justice to those photos. What a great name, Perrywise the Bold. I mean, it's just, it's just screaming with go and help someone that's in need. The city's dangers were often disguised as progress. In Midtown, a massive yellow construction crane acted as a mechanical, air quotes, dragon, its iron neck swinging wildly above the crowded streets. Disaster struck when Lady Lou, a vibrant maiden known for her bright Colombian textiles, found herself in its path. The founding fathers, of course, probably found her in Colombia and brought her to America. A sudden gust of wind caught her long, multicolored scarf, snagging it on a low-hanging cable. Of course, now I'm looking at it going, oh! The dragon's neck lurched upwards in a heaving roar. Of untested, metallic, machinic mayhem. I don't even think machinic is a word, but it is now. We could always work on that later. And as we know, kids, gusty winds, 5 miles. One of my classic jokes from back in the 80s. Hold fast, Lady Lou, Sir Pestry shouted over the industrial screeching of the crane. He revved Perrywise's engine, and the steel horse surged forward, weaving between orange traffic cones with the grace of a dancer. You'll be a dancer, darling. Standing high on the foot pegs, Pestry drew... Oh, that's Sir Pestry. We can't just use Pestry. That's ridiculous. This man is a knight. Drew his specialized cutting tool. With a swift practiced motion, he sliced through the snagged fabric, freeing Lady Lou just as the mechanical dragon jerked its neck towards the clouds. The scarf fluttered down like a wounded bird, safely caught by the knight's gauntleted hand, and Perrywise roared in triumph. And again, the face mask on the helmet, is again not here. 2, the skull is not there. And 3, that horn of plenty coming out of the wind, no, and no, because it's driving me crazy. But you see here, again, little things like Sir Pestry. But we have here, not only is the skull not on the helmet this time, but it's also not a framework, and that horn, bike riders across the planet and those who are no longer with us are rolling right now over that. Far above the street-level chaos, Lord Penwick, the Imaginator, watched through the floor-to-ceiling glass of his penthouse fortress. He was a man of cold logic and colder ambitions, obsessed with turning the city into a sterile, monochromatic empire. Penwick detested the knights and their old-fashioned notions of bravery. To him, the city was a chessboard, and he was the only player who mattered. He tapped his fingers on a glass tablet. His eyes narrowed as he plotted the night's downfall, his reflection ghostly against the New York skyline. One can say ghostly and ghastly. I like both of those words as they are very pungent and poignant. We're going to put those in there. Ghastly. Oh, Lord. And that's Sir Penwick. Again, we've seen characters just like him in other books. This man is out of his gourd. Lord Penwick did not work alone. He employed wizards who traded in shadow and science. In a hidden laboratory beneath the city, a lead chemist named Kristan, not to be confused with the Cristal that one would purchase at a, let's say, a high establishment in the city, paying way too much for, some bubbled waters, one would say. Kristan, I'm going to have to put a little H in there. Kristan. So it'll be Kristan. That's a good one. I like that one. Kristan. 2 S's we're going to put in there. 2 S's because you just want to say that name over and over again and know it means no good intention. Kristan worked under the glow of neon tubes. Kristan. Oh, God, we're just going to have to keep working that one. Let's go right there again. Was a master of chemistry, a drug chemist wizard brewing a batch of gray fog, a vapor designed to cloud the minds of the citizens and make them easy to control. Sir Penwick stood... this Sir, you gotta write the word Sir in there. Penwick stood over the chemist watching the bubbling cauldrons with a dark grin. The plan to silence the heart of New York was nearing completion, 1 vial at a time. Oh, again with your shield. Come on, man. Who rides a bike? You gotta have the face shield. You've gotta remove the horn. Word of the chemist's lab reached Sir Pestry through his network of informants. The Lower East Side, Perrywise. We must move like the wind, he commanded. The steel horse thundered down the narrow streets, its tires gripping the damp pavement as they raced across the clock. Against the clock, the city blurred into a neon smear of blue and gold. Sir Pestry tucked himself... Will you please write the word Sir in there? Sir Pestry tucked himself low behind the windscreen, his black helmet and its white skeletal jaw reflecting the flashing lights of the midnight traffic as they sped toward the source of the gray fog. No yellow jackets required. They crashed through the warehouse doors, the air thick with the acrid scent of the gray fog. Ah, Kristan. Stan. The chemist scrambled to protect his work. hurling a vial of the volatile liquid towards the knight. Sir Pestry was faster. He grabbed a heavy-duty fire extinguisher from the wall and unleashed a blast of freezing white foam. The chemist's concoction was neutralized instantly, and the lab was plunged into a cloud of harmless vapor. Kristan, Kristan fled into the darkness, terrified by the knight's skeletal visage, leaving his broken flasks behind. I just love the way tough bad guys crumble in the eyes of goodness. But the victory was short-lived. While Sir Pestry was dismantling the lab, Lord Penwick had executed a more personal strike. His henchmen had ambushed Lady Lou and brought her to the Imaginator's glass tower. Now she was trapped in a high-tech cell, a room of unbreakable glass overlooking the very city she loved. Sir Penwick? Oh, it's Lord Penwick. Oh, God, even I'm getting confused now. Lord Penwick stood before her, his voice a low hiss of triumph. He knew the night would come for her, and he prepared a final trap to shatter the last of the New York Knights. Will you please? Images. Shield. Horn. Sir Pestry arrived in the tower to the roaring engine. Roaring engine of Perrywise the Bold, echoing like a storm in the polished lobby. He didn't wait for the guards. He rode his steel horse straight up the grand curving marble staircase, the tires gripping the stone, the motorcycle roaring as it climbed. I could see the engine. What's another word for a roar? Screaming. The tires and the motor screaming as it climbed. We'll call the top one humming then. That way we don't have to change the other one. The humming engine of Perrywise the Bold. Every floor, Sir Pestry, will you please? Pestry cleared brought him closer to the final confrontation. His grip on the handlebars was iron tight. His black helmet with its white bone jaw tilted forward as his visor scanned for traps. Your legends end here, Sir Pestry. Lord Penwick, you've got to give me my lordship, shouted as the knight reached the summit. The villain raised a silver scepter, a royal silver scepter, that hummed with a high-pitched, destructive frequency. Oh, that's a big one. But the knight was prepared. He triggered Lord Perrywise. Oh no, that's just plain Perrywise the Bold. Perrywise's custom-tuned Perrywise the Bold. You can't just say Perrywise the Bold. Custom-tuned sonic blast, a sound so deep and powerful it shook the floor. The two frequencies collided in a shower of sparks, short-circuiting Lord Penwick's scepter. Sir Pestry leaped from the saddle. Sir Pestry leaped from the saddle. He grabbed the royal scepter. How does one even spell scepter? Gotta just look at these words over and over again. There it is. He grabbed the royal scepter from Lord Penwick. He bent him over the table. And proceeded to spank him on the bottom. Until he conceded to his horrid, terrible ways. His childish, impudent ways. You have to swaddle these people. You know, they don't learn the lessons if you just talk to them nicely. They have to be swaddled. Right on the bottom, like a 2-year-old. Lord Penwick retreated into the shadows of the elevators, his plans in ruin. Lady Luce stepped through the shattered glass, her colorful scarf once again draped over her shoulders. She thanked the night with a grateful smile as the first rays of dawn broke over the East River. The sky turned from deep navy to a soft, hopeful pink. Sir Pestry remained armored, his black helmet and white skeletal grin catching the golden light of the morn. Together with Perrywise the Bold, they watched the sunrise, the silent guardians of the city, protected once again from foul couth. The foul couth of an unforgiving city. Two helmets in this one. Horn aplenty. And this concludes yet the first of several of our West Coast edition In Your Face Readers Club. I'm Sterling Vincent saying thank you and goodbye for today.